bill. And out of the book, his topic for the persuasive leader, his title is going to be, we are changing your political world. So the objectives, he's going to communicate the vision and mission to an audience. He's going to convince the audience to work toward achieving vision and mission, and the time is going to be 6 to 8 minutes.
We can change our political world in 2017 and 2018. We are changing our political world. But this has been a real slow and fast evolution. Our national leaders now are polarized. We're uncertainty in our Congress. And the state of Arizona is basically dissatisfied with what's going on internally as far as the legislature and the Senate is concerned. Since the 1950s, we have dropped to a low point of trust of the federal government. From up into the late turn of the 1950s and 60s, we're about 70%. We have dropped to a point down in the low 20s, which is the only time in history, if you can follow that in the last 50 years, is some dips way down when President Nixon was being impeached. So we're at a low time low of trust in our government, as far as according to the Pew Research. The other thing that's happened, I think, in our country, and this is again, Pew Research has come up with the numbers for this, is we have become more polarized than we ever have been. That is, that the conservative or leaning people have gotten farther away from those of the opposite ideal, leaving a lot more room for disagreement. A poll in 5/11/17, May 11th by Pew, shows that 55% of the people in the United States are frustrated with their government and what's going on right now. So what's that doing here in Arizona, in Maricopa County? You know, we've been traditionally a red state. Are we still a red state? Are we still a conservative Republican state? Well, our last election started to show something was changing, something was shifting. The Democrats gained 30,000 voters from the Republican strength. So something was shifting with 30,000 people in Maricopa County. And this is significant. We won, we meaning the Democrats, won 3 legislative seats just in Maricopa County alone, which is the most populous county in Arizona. More significantly, we won 2 very high-profile races, and that was against Helen Purcell and Joe Arpaio. We won the county recorder and the county sheriff, which showed again a major shift in Maricopa County. And Maricopa County has the most population in Arizona, and thus, forces the vote. But everything that seems to in the past has driven a political contest is money. There was $6.4 million was spent in the last gubernatorial race on Duvall, and he still lost. And we'll still, because of the high input of what came from the other side, we'll see more and more of the money continuing against this progressive change that appears to be happening. So the only way to combat that will be the popular involvement and popular reaction to the high dollar force that the conservative side will have. We have a plethora, to do this, we have a plethora of groups that have formed as a reaction to the strong high dollar status quo. There are groups that have formed all over the country, particularly in Maricopa County as well, moving blue forward. There's, like I said, a plethora of different groups, all with similar goals to make change and facilitate change. And this, we will see in the next year, whether this comes to fruition, to the people in mass force can be an obstruction or a balance against high dollar government, high dollar policies, political politicking and government, whether they'll be able to do by people power and vast participation, whether this will be able to offset what traditionally has been the high dollar input for running political elections and therefore controlling our government. One of the things that has been a tradition and will continue to be a tradition is our high partisanship. Over the last 20 years, there's just a polarization. There's very little room for wiggle in the middle. It's highly partisan. The candidates themselves are either one place or another. And this has been to the detriment, I think, of the political affairs of the state and the country itself. We're finding that there is, because of a reaction, there is a middle that is softening those edges, softening the partisanship. And with that, I think we will see in the forthcoming year or two a shift and a change because of the softening of those edges. A major problem we've been experiencing in the last elections was decreased turnout. No matter how much money has been spent in advertising and promotion, how much newscasting, how much interest among public groups, we still have experienced a decrease in voter turnout. Hopefully in the future with the mail-in ballots, this will change. This is only can be reinforced by the backing up of mail-in ballots by phone campaigns and reminders of people. There was a high percentage of ballots that were never mailed because people just didn't mail them in. I think we'll see in the future with the new county registrar a little more continuity and integrity in that every vote will count. And this is something new, and there are steps taken in the reorganization of the county recorder's office that will ensure that this happens. The county recorder's office is divided up and put representation throughout Maricopa County in 4 different hired roles to cover each of the geographic portions of Maricopa County to ensure that this happens, not only one party or the other, but visiting both parties and ensuring that there's a connection between the recorder and not just this big drop-off that happens on election day where tons of material comes in and often gets clouded up. Again, as part of that too, the native ads will continue. A major thing that will happen, and has happened in the past, is no matter who's registered for the vote in Maricopa County in Arizona, we have had a low Latino turnout. This is critical in the state of Arizona and Maricopa County, where we have such a high percentage of Latinos. In 1995, a lot of Latinos are realizing they're going to have to come out and vote, make a difference. That's the word that's going out in the community. I think that with the institutionalized racial doctrine that was happening with the Maricopa County Sheriff, we saw a change in that with the rise of Latino voters and registration of voters. This is an area that will continue to be reinforced in order to get a more equitable count and an equitable representation in our county. One of the problems that we have often seen, and back when Alfredo Gutierrez became an independent, he was a Democrat for a long time in Arizona, and he chose to be an independent. He says that the party, the Democratic Party, lost its way ideologically. He said that we've gone off in so many different directions and so many different strengths, so many different groups and subgroups and thoughts and causes that it has defeated itself because it's broken apart. I've witnessed this myself as subgroups get out and speak and take away basically the strength of the entire group as a whole. So one of the challenges is to the dynamic energy that goes into each of the subgroups, no matter what their good causes are, that it focuses back towards the whole, which is the main change in the party. What can we do? What can we do as individuals? We can step up, you know, we can take a step, and that means getting out of our comfort zone. We can find out where local meetings are for our cause and attend those meetings and participate and ask what else we can do. We can develop a plan with colleagues. We can meet our colleagues. We can meet our neighbors in our neighborhood, network a little bit, and create this. We can change our world. But in order to change our world, we have to change what we do. And one way we have to do that is get involved, step up, get out of our comfort zone, get up in front of the TV set, reach out, and the world can change. Without that, it won't. Thank you. If you do that, I will miss the day. So thank you very much.
1 minute on the clock for evaluations. Write a love note to Bill. Okay, time's up. Can we get the timer's report?
Jim came in at 5 minutes and 12 seconds, so he qualified. And Bill came in at 11 minutes and 32 seconds, so he did not qualify.
Next is time for our table topics.